see Steve Smith's drop catch? That was a
boundary,
clanger, like a proper clanger.
Who would have thought it? Australians, same old Aussies.
Always cheating.
There we go.
How was Rob Keith doing a job?
One big thing for me is Root's captaincy, just to start to see how he manages it. It'll be nice to see as well all the seam attack and how they fire and how they start again.
That England top 7 are all naturally pretty aggressive players. And I don't want them to play in a world
Within
of fear
themselves,
where they don't want, they feel like they can't play the attacking shot because they'll get pelters and drop.
But I just think that there could be other places that can offer up better opportunities for a really, really good final, good cricket, but then still has an atmosphere.
Hello and welcome back to Howzat Report on talkSPORT. I'm your host, Sam Ellard. Alongside me, Faraaz, Noor from season 4 of The Traitors and the cricket broadcaster, Georgie Heath. In today's episode, we'll discuss one of the biggest test match upsets in cricket history. The 2026 100 winners are crowned and England's test series against Pakistan gets underway this week. Lots to get stuck into. Faraaz, Georgie, how are we?
Yeah, all good, thanks. Yeah, you?
Yeah, I'm good. Did you notice there? In the auto cue there, it said for the intro for Georgie Heath, the hardest working woman in cricket, and I just thought to myself, I don't mean to be rude, but you're not, are you actually?
No.
If anything, you're quite lazy at the moment,
I'm a
aren't you?
slacker. Yeah, not doing anything. So
No.
that's fine.
Okay,
I'll take it.
What's
I
been
did
happening?
notice. I just didn't say anything.
Why is the work dried up, Georgie?
Whew. Wow.
No, what? Why is the work dried
Wow.
up? Ever since this podcast, you haven't worked. You've been quite
Does
quiet.
that say more about you than me?
Possibly.
Or
Oh.
me?
No, blame it on me if you want. That's fine. I'll take it.
It's all right. I'll take it. No, it's fine. It will start again.
Yeah.
And then I'll leave you guys and go to Australia and I'll be fine. So
Okay.
it's fine.
Well, if anyone is listening or watching Howzat Report, Georgie Heath is absolutely very much available and looking for work if you want to give her work.
It's like my work pimp over here.
I know. There we go. Ever since you slagged off Surya Vanchi.
Yeah, that is,
Excuse me?
actually, it was life coach advice.
Yeah, but it was patronising, wasn't it?
Nah, but he scored runs after that.
Well.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
How are you, Fraz?
Well, I was good, to be fair, but talking about the teleprompter, mate, I think you missed out big man on mine as well. So I'm not feeling as good now.
The main man. I mean, it's like for episode 1, I call you the main man. I feel like 9 episodes.
It was the big man today. I'm not looking
Did
big.
it say
like,
big man?
Yeah.
I thought it said the main man. I don't know.
shocking me.
That feels a bit patronising, doesn't it?
No, I'll happily be called a big man all day, every day. You know what I mean?
Anyway, I promise you, I'm alongside the hardest working woman in cricket, Georgie Heath, and the big man, Faraaz Noor, from season 4 of The Traitors. Guys, I think it's always a busy week, isn't it, in the world of cricket? Like, there's never not a busy week, is it, in the world of cricket? But I think there's only one place to start, right? Bangladesh have thrashed Australia by 9. I'm going to say that one more time because it just sounds really, really good. Bangladesh thrashing Australia by 9 wickets in Darwin to complete one of Test cricket's greatest upsets. Australia are the top-ranked Test nation. Bangladesh haven't played a series under the 5-day format in Australia since all the way back in 2003. Quite remarkable. The visitors were on top for pretty much all of the match ever since they bowled Australia out for 198 on day 1. But it was the spinner Mahedi who took the spotlight on day 4, 5 for 66, dismissing Australia for 284. They needed 57 runs to victory, and they got there. Reminder, the Bangladesh's last test match, they lost by an innings in 85 runs to Zimbabwe. And in the warm-up match leading into this series, they were bowled out for 54 against the second-string Australia team. And yet, Faraaz, they play Australia in Darwin in the test match, and they produce something quite magical.
Honestly, when you see stuff like that is why you love Test cricket. Do you know what I mean? Like, with Bangladesh beating Australia, that is so good for the sport and just for Test cricket as a format as well, because who would have expected that? But touching on the warm-up games as well, I don't understand how you go from that to then beating Australia, who was supposed to be the number 1 ranked Test side in the world. But do you think in them warm-up games, they're just like sort of sod it off and they're like, oh, I can't really be bothered with
I
this?
don't think
Just say
Bangladesh...
shit, be like, let's play really badly.
Yeah.
They've hustled them like
Australia
Uncle
think
Phil.
we're rubbish, and then just come out and no, it was unreal though, wasn't it? Because it was. Let's be honest, we all just expected Australia to come out on top pretty easily in this, and then you look at it, and it's not like they've put out a second string team. That is their full squad. That's their full team. And you know what? Let's get an Ashes test in Darwin if that's how it's going to go. Why not?
But what's funny though is despite Bangladesh like leading the test match for pretty much the whole of the test match, like even right up until the end, I was like, they're not going to win. They're not going to win. There's going to be some collapse here. There's going to be some Australia comeback. Like, at no point for us, they actually think they were going to get over the line, but they did, which is remarkable.
50 all out chasing 57. It would have been some sight, wouldn't it?
Well, they bowled out for 54, weren't they, in the warm-up game? So 57 there was more runs than that, right?
Bit of an ask, but no, honestly, they were absolutely class as well. Shanto was like captained absolutely brilliantly. All his bowling changes just seem to work all the time, picking up wickets when he's bringing new bowlers on. But no, it's just so good to see. But I just loved how, like, when they were batting with patience as well, like taking the time, playing proper shots. It was 65 off of batting for 4 hours as well. Like, it's ridiculous. And innings like that is what the game is about. And I feel as if they obviously just took Australia by complete surprise and just completely outplayed them as well. And going on that as well, Australia dropped. See Steve Smith's drop catch. That was a clanger, like a proper clanger. And I feel as if pressure might have been getting to him at that point when Bangladesh are on top all test.
Speaking of Smudger, it feels like you've got to call him Smudger, haven't you? No one calls him Steve Smith, do they? Smudge admitted, didn't he, that he nicked off and didn't walk. Now, I don't think that's that big of a deal. It's up to the umpire to give you out. But as we know, over in Australia, they still haven't forgiven Stuart Broad, have they, for not walking? And then you got gun batter Steve Smith admitting nicked off and didn't walk, Georgie. Who would have thought it, eh?
Who would have thought it? Australians, same old Aussies. Something
Always cheating.
There we go. But you know what? If you're not given out, I mean, I like to think I would walk.
Oh, really?
Silly that, Georgie.
But then I also think that's silly. But, I'm not an international cricketer, but then also, there's worse things that the Australians have done.
Name them. Do you want to just list off all the terrible things?
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think what made it so exciting was the idea that, people talk about Test cricket dying and it's only the top three, your England, India, Australia that really should be playing it, and they're the only ones that matter and then it matters to. And then you see Bangladesh go over to Australia and beat them in their own backyard very, very convincingly. So
I want to echo that thoughts as well because, I like other formats as well, but Test cricket's always been my number one favourite. And sure, when India play Australia, England play India and Australia, look, those Test series have an extra kind of special, feel and vibe about them. They are the big Test series, but I don't want to ever be living in a world where Bangladesh don't play Test match cricket, right? And there's talk of there maybe being a two-tiered World Test Championship. Well, no, absolute nonsense. In recent years, we've seen the West Indies go to Australia and win a Test match. We've seen Bangladesh now go to Australia and win a Test match. Like, we need Australia, India and England, sure, to want to play Test cricket and take Test cricket seriously. But also for us, it's equally as important as your Bangladeshis of this world, your West Indies of this world. They're playing Test cricket because we know they're capable of pulling off shocks like this.
100%. And how can you have a World Test Championship if you're having the same four sides play each other all the time? It's not the World Test Championship then, is it? You're just playing
three best team Test Championship.
It's like the USA in their World Series.
Yeah.
You can't disregard the smaller nations because they'll pull off games like this, and that's what the sport is all about. That is the spectacle of the sport, the spectacle of Test cricket. So I feel as if it's only fair for these smaller nations to be able to tour different sides like that and play these games because it'll only bring up their level. And with them playing more cricket as well, you're only going to bring up more cricketers from that nation because if you're not playing that Test cricket, how are you going to develop?
And that's the problem, that these countries are not playing enough Test match cricket. So you're absolutely bang on, mate. It's almost hard for them to get better if they're only playing a couple of Test matches every year. So I watched that Test match with a smile on my face because Australia lost. I also watched that Test match with anger on my face because it reminded me of the Ashes and what an absolute mess we made of the Ashes. You mentioned one of the batters batting for over 4 hours and playing proper Test match cricket. I saw this stat which fills me with anger and disgust that Bangladesh faced more deliveries in their first innings in Darwin than England managed in any innings, that's 10 innings in the Ashes in the winter. What is wrong with us, Georgie? Like, why? How is Rob Key still in a job? It's scandalous, isn't it, really? Come on.
It's one of those things we think we're just getting over it, and then something like this just pops up again to remind us of just how much of an opportunity was missed. Think of that first test, that was the opportunity to put ourselves one up in the away Ashes and really come back and think, right, this is the one.
That test match?
How did we lose that test?
Has anyone ever figured out?
Did it actually happen?
I don't know. It feels a long time ago, doesn't it?
I was also in the right time zone, so I couldn't just go to sleep and ignore it,
No.
which is a shame.
Yeah.
I mean, England messed up, let's be honest, in the Ashes. They had the opportunities and they went out and went, this is how we play. Who cares about how you play? I care about how you win.
Yeah.
You know, if that's how you're going to play to lose, I don't care how you, whatever. That's not the result I wanted. It's not about the journey, it's about the destination. And the destination was failure.
But Faraaz, the big question I have to ask you, sure, Bangladesh picked up one of the greatest test victories of all time, but did they go to Noosa?
Did they have a good night?
Did
You know
they
what I
go
mean?
to Noosa? If they didn't go to Noosa, what was the point of even going to Australia for a 2-test match series? Right?
That is very true. To be fair, I'm not too sure how many of the Bangladeshi lot will drink because quite a few of them might be Muslim.
Yeah,
but
just
they
go
might
for the vibes
they
anyway,
might be on the Diet Cokes. You know what I mean?
Fine.
Still get a little two-step going.
You know what? It did look great vibes though, as a test match goes. Because it doesn't go up there very often to Darwin. So it's been a long time since they've had test cricket up there. And honestly, I mean, we're talking beers for breakfast and multiple. No, you don't have to all drink beer. It can be whatever you want. But it did look like a really good, entertaining test to be part of.
No, yeah, it was fantastic. And reading a lot of stuff on social media, it does, because this is Australia's first test match of a start of a manic year for them. They've obviously got another one against Bangladesh. Then they go to South Africa for 3 test series, home to New Zealand for 4, and then they got 5 away in India and 5 away in England in the next 12 months. It is an insane, intense, busy schedule. And already, Georgie, Weatherald, Labuschagne, Webster, I know Green got run second innings, but those 4 players in particular are already under pressure. People talking about there being a change in the balance of the team, personnel. We know that the 3 fast bowlers that played yesterday are all very in the test match are all very good, but we know they're very old. And for international cricketing terms, and it is impossible for them to play every match the next year. So it's the start for us of a massive year for Australia. And yet already after 1 test match, there's so many things they've got to try and figure out and work out.
100%, but I feel as if that's to their credit as well because they've got a lot of options as well to come in. Like we were talking earlier about Scotty Boland just never getting a look in. He must be the most...
Imagine if he was English.
I know, yeah. Honestly, you just snap him up straight away, but like... He must be the most hard done by cricketer ever because whenever he plays, he's absolutely magnificent. But when you've got an attack there of Hazelwood, Cummins and Stark, like you're going to struggle getting in that side, you know what I mean? But touching on that as well, I feel as if it is just sort of getting that side right. But when you've got all them options, you're going to struggle, aren't you? You're going to struggle. But especially in Australia, you're going to come under a lot of pressure always, aren't you? So.
Yeah, but it's like Head isn't an opener. Labuschagne is in woeful form. He hasn't scored a test 100 since 2023.
Yeah.
Like Bo Webster and Cameron Green, it feels like the 2 all-rounders that are maybe just not doing either facet particularly well, but both get in the team. And it does feel like there's just too many players not in the right position and then too many players not in good form.
It feels very un-Australian though, doesn't it? Because you always think of them to be very settled and they've got their plans, they've got their contingency plans of who then comes through as well. And at the moment, they're in a bit of flux, which is just not what you think of when you think of an Australian test team. You think they have their openers set, they know who they've got in. You think about the days of Langer, Hayden up the top, that was just set things up and then just follow
Before
on.
Faraz's time.
Ponting coming in, yeah. And just unreal the way that was set up. But this Australian side, the way things are, obviously you talk about the bowling cartel, they are aging, you know. So it's a struggle because no one's scoring runs. Cam Green, he scores 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been short form.
But also, how many runs has he scored in the last year? And then he went for a billion pounds or whatever he went for in the IPL as well, and then couldn't buy a run there. And I was like, you got the money to buy the runs, buy some runs. And
if only it was that simple, right?
If only it were that simple. My average would be even lower.
Yeah, I know. Faraaz, we're having a look at some of the best test upsets in recent history, and this Bangladesh one's got to be right up there. I mean, other ones that maybe jump to mind, the West Indies winning in Australia a couple of years ago at the Gabba in 2024. That was absolutely remarkable. That West Indies had 7 uncapped players in that team. Hadn't won in Australia since 1997. New Zealand, that feels years ago, but it was only 2024. A whitewash series win, New Zealand in India 3-0. We had that series on talkSPORT too. Absolutely remarkable. Maybe India ending Australia's 32-year Gabba fortress in 2021. They had lots of players injured that series. India, Kohli, Bumrah, Ashwin, Jadeja, chasing 328 in the 4th innings. They got over the line. Just some of the best ones maybe that jump to mind, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say the New Zealand away in India.
3-0 in India is insane,
a whitewash in India as
Yeah.
well. And no disrespect to New Zealand. This is going to be disrespectful. But you don't look at them and go, oh, yeah, they're going to be... Of all the teams that are around at that time, you go, yeah, that's the team that's going to whitewash India at home. And that was sensational. But I think the West Indies at the Gabba has got to be right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's Sri Lanka's win in South Africa, away at South Africa 2019. Then they're struggling. Sal Pereira comes in 150 not out. Genuinely was the best innings I've ever seen. Because obviously that was the same summer as well. Stokes hit his amazing innings at Headingley, and then you see this, and I'm like, how is that being? I thought it was being topped. Obviously, it's an away series as well for Sri Lanka. It was absolutely ridiculous. So I think that win for me was Defoe's one.
Great shout. And there was another test match going on right now. We're recording this on a Monday afternoon, so it's day 3 between Sri Lanka and India. I just saw a stat which made me smile. Nirishan Dickwella has strengthened his stranglehold on a world record in the world of cricket. I mean, do you know what that world record is?
No.
If you no, fair enough. He has got the most Test 50s without 100. He's now got 23 Test match 50s without scoring 100, 7 more than the next best, which I think is just a magnificent. To make 23 Test 50s is quite good, but to then make 0 hundreds is awful. His conversion rate is absolutely appalling. I thought that.
Do you reckon all the lads on the side are like, once he's got 50, get your pads on, lads.
Yeah. Did Joe Root? Have I made it?
He did go through a patch.
Yeah, he went through a patch.
And
couldn't get to 100.
Just could not convert.
Not 23 though.
No, that's a lot.
No, yeah. Anyway, I just thought that put a smile on my face for us. Good on when he scores his first Test 100. It's going to be the greatest thing to ever happen. It's
going down in history.
The lads after him going to have serious pad rush, by the way, when he gets his first. What's going on here? Getting in the 90s? No, this can't be right.
Yeah, the nervous 50s.
Yeah, the nervous 50s. Yeah. Is that a thing? Apparently, it is for him. So that's Bangladesh. Well done to them. Sri Lanka, India ongoing. England, Pakistan on Wednesday. So we've got a whole 2 days with no one day cup at the moment, is it? That's taking a bit of a break. So we've got Monday and Tuesday.
We have to talk to people.
What are we going to do with the evenings? And
watch highlights.
Honestly, watch highlights of the 100.
I've got the Ashes 2005 DVD at home.
Yes, that was a good series, wasn't it?
No, it was good.
Right? Yeah. In terms of where Pakistan are at, Saud Shakil here, an unbeaten centuries. Pakistan beat a PCC Select 11 by 7 wickets in their warm-up match. They were set 262 to win, and they got there. Ali Usman took 5 for 42. In terms of some interesting teams for Pakistan, Babar Azam has returned as Pakistan's Test captain, replacing Shan Masood, who led the team since December 2023. They've just come from the West Indies, where they drew 1-1. The senior trio, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Hassan Ali, and Noman Ali, all dropped ahead of that West Indies series. Mad to think that Shaheen Shah Afridi, who for such a long period of time was a gun all-format bowler, not even making a Pakistan squad now. They're second bottom of the 9-team World Test Championship, but that is only one place below England. Last time Pakistan toured England, do you remember when? In a Test series. 2020. That was the COVID summer.
Blimey.
The last time Pakistan were in England ahead of a Test series. Look, it's a 3-match Test series, kind of the start-ish of a new era for us because there's no Brendan McCullum, but there's also no Stephen Fleming just yet. So Marcus Rashkovic, interim head coach, Joe Root will captain the team. What are you looking to see from England in the next 3 Test matches?
I think one big thing for me is Root's captaincy, just to start to see how he manages it, see if he comes at it with sort of a new lease of life that it was previous beforehand, and just sort of the changes he makes, bowling changes, things like that. If he's got his, I think he'll have his order set, but more so bowling changes, fielding, things like that really. But it'll be nice to see as well all the seam attack and how they fire and how they start again. I think it'll be really interesting.
Yeah, I think with Joe Root and the captaincy, we can't just judge him on what he did last time. He's a very different player. It's a very different team. It's a very different time and situation for him to be coming into it. So, yes, he had a slight opportunity that one game at the Oval. Perhaps there were things still to think about there. Some of his decision-making on that wasn't quite what you would hope for. A few decisions went the wrong way, and obviously they lost that test against New Zealand. So I do wonder how he's going to approach this and whether it's had an impact playing under Stokes and whether any of that is then going to leak into the way he wants to captain, because as great a cricketer as he is, I haven't necessarily rated Joe Root the captain, and that takes nothing away from everything he's achieved. Some people just, the captaincy isn't quite their thing. And for someone with such a good cricket brain, you do wonder whether there's just something that needs to feed from that into his captaincy and you bring that into this. But you never know. He might come back, second lease of life. He's ticked off every record pretty much that he needs to, and we know that Joe Root
he needs to go above Thatcher.
Yeah. It's we think of Joe Root as this sensational player, and you do wonder whether he's just now he's come into this new lease, much older than he was when he did it last time. Can he just approach it in a different manner?
I'm most looking forward to seeing how England approach batting, because we knew what England wanted to try and do under the Bazball era, which is basically just play aggressive cricket, but at times reckless and stupid cricket. So I'm interested to see what this new looking England team, but kind of, Root as captain, a new head coach coming in. And I think we all want England to still, at the right moments and the right times, to play aggressive cricket. Like, we don't want just to be 2 runs and over forever. Like, if there's a moment in the test match where you're ahead of the game and maybe a bowler's coming back for a third spell and he's not at his absolute best, then I'm okay for Harry Brook and Jamie Smith and whoever to play aggressive cricket, because that England top 7 are all naturally pretty aggressive players. And I don't want them to play in a world
Within
of fear
themselves,
where they don't want, they feel like they can't play an attacking shot because they'll get pelters and dropped. So when the moment's right, put the pressure on. But we have to see, and it's a point that's obviously clearly been made a lot of the last year, 18 months, that if, for argument's sake, Mohamed Abbas on day 1 of the first test on Wednesday morning, if it's overcast on a green top and he's getting a little bit of movement, then as a test match batsman, your job is to get through a spell and leave outside the off stump and block and defend, not try and reverse ramp him and get out in stupid way. So I hope there's a slight shift in mindset from the batting point of view, because again, I still think England's team on paper, 1 to 11, it's a good England team. It's not a bad England team. We've got some absolute gun players in that 11.
Yeah, I think what you want to see, there's a very stark difference between aggression and recklessness. And at times we've seen a lot of recklessness from this England side. And I just don't want to sit down and be watching it and at about 12 o'clock go, oh, for God's sake, because someone has done something completely off script that you just did not need to be doing at that time. The amount of times you watch it, you think, oh, it's going on. Oh, why the hell have you done that? What? Something just clicks. It's like they go, oh God, I must try and play a big shot now. You don't need to. It's Test cricket. You've got 5 days.
Like Harry Brook, I think, is a number like Harry Brook, in my opinion. Like, I think he's so good. Like, he could be the greatest
he's got
player
all the shots
to ever
in the book.
play the
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Like, some of the shots you see this guy play in any format, you're sat there like you're an absolute genuine freak of nature. And his test match numbers are still seriously impressive. But if you have all that talent, but also have the brain just to be able to get through good spells, like, he could literally, like, this sport could be too easy for him. Like, he's that good as a player. He's so good it could almost be unfair on other teams. But, like, he just seems to have that thing in his mind where it's like, I've raced on to 30 off 20 balls. I'm now going to something stupid because it's just fun. And you're like, no, don't do that. Go, like, you could score 100 every time you go out to bat.
I think that's what Georgie's hit the nail on the head there. The difference between aggressive and like positive intent, and then just recklessness as well. And I feel as if he might sort of blur them lines. Do you know what I mean? He thinks that in the way he's playing, he's showing positive intent, but he already is. But you need to just sort of, because as you say, the best players, like when you think of Test batsmen, and I'm going to go back, but like your Laras, your Pontins, like they were all aggressive batsmen. Like, they all batted with positive intent. Ponting used to say, first ball, if it's a half volley, I'm going to play it the same way first ball of innings, and I'll do if I'm on 100. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of them. It's just about picking your shots, playing the ball on merit. And I feel as if he blurs the line sometimes there when he can try and maybe force something out of something that's maybe not there.
Yeah. Faraaz, what will England do with Josh Tongue and Gus Atkinson? Played 100 final Sunday night, test match Wednesday morning.
I think they'll just play. They'll just have to rest and recover and play. I think that's the only thing that I see from them, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're in the side for a reason. They'll know that they'll be going into playing the Friday and the Sunday. So I think they'll just expect them to play and start well.
Yeah. Final one. Is this the Faraaz Noor derby? You're born in England, right? But parents, grandparents from Pakistan, yeah?
Yeah, parents, grandparents, all Pakistani, 100% Pakistani. So, to be fair, obviously, we always do want to see Pakistan do well. And to be honest, I wouldn't be against it if Pakistan beat England as well. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. I just like to see them do well, but I feel they just don't. They just don't. They're so
I like to see them do well, but they don't.
The fun thing I think of Pakistan is that either really, really good or really, really bad.
Yeah.
There's nowhere in the middle, which is why it could be a really, really fun series. England-Pakistan starts on Wednesday. First test match at Headingley. Up next on Howzat for a Pod, we're talking the 100 final. It's Howzat for a Pod. Sam Ellard, Georgie, Heath, Faraaz, Noor with you. The 100 final was on Sunday, and we have 2 winners. We'll start with the men, shall we? The Manchester Supergiants survived a late wobble and scare with the bat. They beat Trent Rockets, though, got over the line, won by 5 wickets. It's their first 100 title. Trent Rockets batting first, 158 for 8, which felt very much a par score, maybe a smidgen above par. The Supergiants needed a straightforward 3 off the last 9 balls. But Mohammed and Mir dismissed Clarkson and Bracewell, and then Sanderson bowled 2 dot balls, bringing the equation down to 3 of 3. And the dugout kept cutting to Josh Buttler. He looked like he was going to cry in the dugout, Buttler.
At one point, he's like hitting whoever was sat in front of him, like, oh yeah, here we go. You know, he's almost taken the lid off that beer already. And then 2 minutes later, he's there like,
Yeah, he wasn't watching.
What?
He wasn't watching.
I think he had a little monitor down in the dugout. He was like staring down at the floor, but Liam Dawson held his nerve. He hit the winning runs at 6 over mid-wicket. But the chase happened very much set up with Tim Seifert, who struck a beautiful 72 off 38, 7 sixes, 4 fours in a brutal display of power. They lost 2 finals before Manchester Super Giants. They get over the line. Faraaz, what did you make of the final?
I thought it was a decent game, to be fair, for obviously what I thought would have been a comprehensive chase, which they made it look like. Towards the end, it got a bit nail-biting, to be fair, but I just think Manchester Supergiants just played really well. But what, for me, changed the game, especially when Trent were looking decent. Noor Ahmed came on, and he had an absolute blinder of a game, didn't he? He played absolutely magnificently, and he really did change the game. And I feel as if, obviously, Seifert came out and absolutely destructive. Then you've got your little cameos from Butler and so on. And then, obviously, the catches...
Lewis Deploy as well played a nice cameo.
Yeah, he did. He did really nicely. And then that catch as well for Seifert that we were talking about earlier, where he touched the toe bro. And imagine if that was given out, then it's another sort of wobble, turn the game on its head. But
so for those who haven't seen that catch, sort of a pull out to deep mid-wicket, Finn Allen takes the catch behind the boundary and his feet on the floor, and he throws it back into the pitch, and the catch is taken. So no issue there. So I just thought, when I first saw the replay, I thought, out, big moment in the game. But what had happened was, as he goes over the boundary rope, his foot touches the Toblerone, and then he takes the catch with his feet off the ground. And the rules are the rules, sure, and that means that it's a 6. My first instinct was, I hate that rule. I mean, I thought that was I thought it's not fair. Like, there's so much in favour, right, of the batting team nowadays. I appreciate your foot touches on the way, but if you take that catch if you take that catch in the air, no feet on the floor, and still have the nous to throw it back into play, and the catch taken cleanly, I mean, come on, that's surely enough for it to be a wicket, no?
I think it's so hard because the rule is you can't start outside the boundary rope because I was saying earlier, I love the idea of then you could just start so far out the boundary, you just sort of perch on the advertising hall and launch yourself in.
Finn Allen doesn't start outside the boundary.
Yeah, but he's on it, isn't it? Before he takes the catch.
I know. Look, the rules are the rules, for sure. By the letter of the law, the right decision was made for us. I just thought we saw an incredible piece of fielding. And I just, in my mind, as I saw that, I was like, that didn't seem enough as a rule to rule out a wicket and take away what would have been an amazing catch.
I know what you mean. It feels harsh, but I think you're saying that as well because the catch was so good. Like, it was ridiculously good, wasn't it, really? Feels harsh, but again, it look in the book, mate. It's not out, you know what I mean? And Seifert went on just to destruct a bit more. But that would have been a game changer as well.
I think we thought, it was slightly above par, the target that was set. Around that 160 mark, you think you'd be pretty happy with that, get a score on the board in a final, especially Lords, which, not necessarily the highest scoring, but attacking it in the power play the way they did and the way he just went about things. The size of that man's arms.
Yeah, biggest biceps in cricket.
But not even just biceps, his forearm as well. Yeah. Jeez. Can hit a big ball, and then if you take it on like that, and then you've got people like Butler to bat around it, and then someone like Lewis Deploy, who's been around forever and a day, and then Liam Dawson, who is the man for a crisis, just coming in at the end. Now, I did think I was so nearly caught that last ball that went for 6.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, oh, this could be so interesting now if Dawson goes here, but it's what it is.
I looked at my notes, and in my notepad I wrote down that my predicted table 1 to 8. And I had Manchester Super Giants at 7. And then I look at their team. Yeah. And I'm like, how did I put them 7? And look, to be fair, we did say at the start of the tournament, and in my defense, I think all the teams are pretty stacked. But like, you looked at that, like I think maybe I didn't think. I think sometimes what I do, and this is maybe not how I should think about it, I just too often look at the top orders.
Yeah.
And all top orders are quite good, but I think what they maybe had Manchester Super Giants, they had the best bowling attack, I think, didn't they? 3 gun seamers who were all quick, and then 2 very, very clever spinners.
And that's where it is, the bowling will win your tournaments, you know what I mean? Bowling will win your tournaments, and I think a lot of people sometimes overlook that. I myself, when you're looking at sides in particular as well.
Who's going to score the 6s?
Yeah, but when you actually look at their attack, it is just absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? From both ends, you're having absolute heat, just hitting the line and batsman length, like you can't go wrong at all. It must be so hard for new batsmen, especially, to come in and just face that straight away, especially in the 100, like when it's just so fast paced, and to try and get off the mark so quickly. Because I was talking to when I done one of the interviews with James Rue a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying, like, if you don't get a boundary off the first few balls, like, you feel under pressure straight away.
Sam Curran said the same thing on TV yesterday. He said if you don't score a boundary in 3 balls, you start getting fidgety and panicking.
Yeah, and which to be honest, it's unheard of. So imagine if you've got from both ends as well, and especially for bowlers bowling well, then they can bowl 10 straight through. If you're struggling big time, then you're just going to get yourself out, aren't you? So I think it's not one to overlook, really.
I think with a lot of the teams, you sort of look at it, and one aspect of their squad is so strong. Like, you look at that Sunrisers team, core, their bowling is really strong. That's the best. Their batting, even, is really strong. That's got to be the best batting lineup. But then you look at the Manchester Super Giants, you go, oh, look how good that batting is. But actually, look how good that bowling is. And they did have it really well balanced, because that's an international bowling side. You go, Gus Atkinson, Sonny Baker, Josh Tongue at the top. But then you got Noor Ahmed in there. And then you got Liam Dawson as well. And bowling those dots in the eliminators, or the way he comes in at the death, and you just couldn't get anything off him. And then he can come in and hit it with the bat as well. You actually, it's a really well balanced side. You don't just go, oh, they're great in the batting department, maybe a little short in the bowling.
Georgie, we had a great men's final. Unfortunately, the women's final just didn't quite live up. To be honest with you, I was watching it, and then when Phoebe Litchfield got out, I did start to flick, because it almost felt like the top 4 went quite cheaply, didn't they? And then from that moment on, when the Sunrisers were 4 down for not many, you kind of feared the worst for them, didn't you?
It was not even a bang average final. It was a really quite boring final, let's be honest. The way they couldn't even reach 100, and you just thought, they're just going to knock us off so easy. It wasn't very exciting. Bowled really well, let's just say. Trent Rockets, they have been the best team throughout the tournament. And actually, they've got some players in there. So the likes of Georgia Adams, who has now been in 4 of the 6 final days for different franchises. She's won it with the Oval Invincibles. She's won it with the Southern Brave. She's been in the final with the Southern Brave as well. And now she's won it at the Trent Rockets. You know, someone like that, you've got that experience of her. And then I think she was player of the match in the final as well. So you've got someone like that in that side. But the Sunrisers just didn't come to the party in the final. The wicket not necessarily conducive to massive scoring, which is what Sunrisers has been used to up at Headingley, because it's just been a great pitch, great deck for big scoring. So maybe it makes it a bit harder then when you go on the road, when you're so used to big scoring and going big. But then, like you say, Phoebe Litchfield's in great form, almost the top scorer of the tournament. She was my pick, and we missed out there, sadly. Annabelle Sutherland, great all-round performance, yes, but you can't just rely on those two. Bryony Smith, we know she can hit a big ball, but she did struggle at times. And then they just looked so well-oiled, that unit of the Trent Rockets, Ash Gardner captaining, and then you've got Beth Mooney behind the stumps, who's just consummate professional, and Sophia Dunkley been in great form. So they deserved winners in the end, Trent Rockets. I just wish it'd been a better final.
So Manchester win the men's, and then the Trent Rockets win the women's by 8 wickets. They're chasing down 92 off the 54 balls. So there was a big gap, wasn't there, between the women and men's final. Going to throw you both, and I'll chip in as well for some quick fire questions here. You can do the women's, Georgie. Faraaz, you can do the men's. Player of the tournament, Georgie, come to you first. Who was the best women's player?
I'm going to say Sophia Dunkley, actually. She has had a difficult year, because obviously she was dropped from that England side, was never making the first 11, and then she came into the World Cup and performed when she was asked to. Coming into this, she's just absolutely found her form, been in great form. She's been a huge part of that Trent Rockets side and the run scoring. So I'm going Sophia Dunkley.
I'm going Josh Butler. I'm going to captain the side to victory as well, keep well, batted well throughout the tournament. For me, it's just that little inside edge he took off Ben Duckett yesterday, and the other grab took up top. Serious player, but yeah, I think Butler for me. I was edging between him and Seifert, but I thought I'll go with Butler as a skipper. I
went Seifert, 322 runs, only Mitch Marsh got more. In the final, 72 off 38. First player ever in the men's 100 to score 5 or more scores of 50. And if you look at his runs towards the back end of the tournament, given that Manchester didn't have a great start as well, so their last 3 league games they had to win. So basically, they were all essentially kind of finals. 62 off 36, 55 off 34, 80 or 40. He actually did get a duck in the eliminator. And then 72 or 38 in the final. So 4 scores of 50 or more in the last 5 games. I mean, that is your gun opener literally delivering when it matters most. So I've gone Tim Seifert, but Butler's a good shout. And also it's nice to have a Butler to captain again, to score runs and captain well, because his England time as captain came to an end in not great fashion. And he always kind of looked, it was like Root looking like a broken man. Butler was a bit like that. So I was happy for Joss.
I mean, what a few weeks for Joss though as well. Yeah, he then gets brought in as captain. He goes to top run scorer in T20s as well, but he doesn't just get it with like prodding 2 around the corner and then getting out as well. He's played so well. He's got that as well. And now he's got the title in the 100.
Yeah.
He hasn't won a title since that England won the T20 World Cup.
Was that in 2022?
That hasn't lifted a trophy.
And also, we shouldn't forget Butler captain England in that World Cup as well.
Yeah, unreal.
Like he is a England World Cup winning captain. Like we forget about that, I think, because in 2023 was so bad in the 50 over World Cup. The Champions Trophy wasn't great in 25, but he is an England World Cup winner. And we haven't had many of those, have we? So yeah, I love. There's something about Joss that I love Joss. Yeah. Breakout player of the tournament in the women's, Georgie.
Okay, I'm going to go with Cassidy McCarthy,
Okay, nice.
bowler for Sunrisers, just getting that bit of movement and just up the top, and just one of those domestic players that you haven't necessarily seen that much of. Yes, she's been part of the 100 before, but with this 4 internationals now in a side, it's really done the dirty on the England female domestic players, really, because they haven't really had that much of an opportunity. A lot of them have just been specialist fielders, but she's been a really great breakout. Not necessarily breakout, she's been playing for the Blaze for a while, but yeah, been really impressed with her up the top and one to watch out for.
Nice. Good shout for us.
I think breakthroughs fitting for the size of this man. I'm going Paul Walter, mate.
Good shout,
Absolute beast. And first of all, I can't get over how big he is, truth. Like when you see
How tall is Paul Walter?
I have no idea. Too tall.
Too tall.
He's too tall.
Is that an official height though, or is that just?
Yeah, too tall.
He's
too tall. Guinness World Records for being too tall. Do you know what I mean? But like his levers are ridiculous when you see him hit the ball. But no, I just thought he batted so well up top as well. Like he's just so destructive. Do you know what I mean? Especially when you've got like the likes of Seifert and Walter there, 2 big lads just absolutely moosing it about all over.
He didn't start the tournament. He only came in because Aidan Markram had to go home. And then when he came in open, people were like, why isn't Butler just going open like with Josh Butler, open the batting? And then and also he's such a leg side player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want to hit through the offside. I don't want to go too niche and too tactical, but like I was sometimes surprised when I was watching him bat that teams didn't just bowl like wide outside of off stump and pack the field or on the offside. Like it felt like it was too easy for him just to keep hitting leg side. I was a bit like, just bowl wide outside.
Yeah, but he does have the long levers. He could actually give himself room, and actually at times did just slap it through.
Yeah, that's what I think. And I think sometimes when you give players like that width anyway, you can't, because it'll just go when you put your levers through that anyway. So it's a bit difficult, to be honest.
Can I tell you my breakout player?
Yeah.
I'm very excited about this guy, by the way, because I hadn't seen him play too much before the 100. Anna Ryan Donald, who going into the 100, by the way, had an incredible blast for Derbyshire. 12 innings, 489 runs. That's an average of 40 and a strike rate of 230. To average 45 with a strike rate of 230 is remarkable. He had 4 50-plus scores in the blast. He only came in halfway through the tournament because Banton got injured. He got lots of starts, but he batted extremely quickly, striking over 200 in all of his innings. And there was something about watching him where he just really, really pleasing on the eye. Quick starts. Also, like he wants to hit his first ball all the way to the boundary to get off to a good start. Can play 360, and I just thought really exciting. And maybe I'm going a bit early with this one, but we'd love to see him maybe part of the England setup sooner rather than later. But really enjoyed watching him play.
Yeah, he's had a good run for Derbyshire. He had one last year as well. There was a sort of blast innings. He made 100, I think, last year off something ridiculous like 40-odd balls. You know, when you just look at it and you think, that is just bonkers cricket. But a very exciting player. And like you say, it's like he wants to get off the mark with the boundary. Or you think he comes in first balls, right, I'm going to tonk this and we're off.
Yeah. But you complete 360 player, really pleasing on the eye. And he's a man in really, really good touch. Moment of the tournament. It can be anything. It can be a fun one, a silly one, a serious one. What made you smile over the last couple of weeks, Georgie?
There were lots of smiling moments, but my runner-up of this one was when the ball got hit off the pod into the Trent Rockets women's hospitality box yesterday after they'd already won, and it nearly took out half their champagne. They were like, oh, the ball. No, that was a runner-up one. But actually, when the national alarm alert went off the other night and Tall Paul is batting and there's just this rings around the oval and everyone's like, what the hell's going on? And there's, you think suddenly nuclear war's going to happen. He's just out in the middle like, cool, fine. Bosh, off it goes, leg side 6. See ya. I don't care what kind of alarm's going off. I got cricket to play. So I like that.
Nice, good shout.
For me, that would be Bolt giving Bairstow a bit of slaver when he got him out. Like, that was mint natural. If you can't beat a bit of needle as well, especially when fast bowler, the bowling fast, mate. Proper giving him a bit. Bairstow, like, turns back round anything. Like, what are you saying here? But no, I loved it, mate. It was class.
I was also the same game, was it? The Livingston and Tom Curran start sledging each other.
You know what? I'm so here for it. Get involved.
It makes the game that much more like just fight. You just want to watch it, don't you? You're a bit involved when you get that needle in it as well.
Next year now, at the next auction, they do it where you're able to retain more players than you let go. Because I sometimes don't like these franchise tournaments where you have a season and then there's 75% change for next year. I think you've got to keep the core of the team together. So next year, Tom Curran and Liam Livingston come up against each other for the same teams. And therefore, that's where I think you build rivalry. And that's where I think from the fans' point of view, you can probably stay connected to a team. But if they keep, obviously, we know the team names change, not ideal. But all the players change, it's then difficult, isn't it? My moment of the tournament, I've gone for Will Jack's stunning catch. That was against London Spirit. On the boundary, he takes the catch, he's going over, he then throws it back into the field and takes a one-handed diving catch. I mean, a gun fielder, an amazing effort. But again, with my sort of glass half empty way of thinking about things, I then keep thinking about all the drops he had in the Ashes, where I'm like, what? You take worldies in the 100.
Especially when he drops an absolute goober.
He dropped a silly one, didn't he, in the Ashes? Like, come on, Jaxie. But yeah, that was a pretty special moment. There we go. That was the 100. I don't know what I'm almost embarrassed to say this, but I really enjoyed the 100. I mean, like, again, I understand, and I've always understood people's skepticism around it, and I don't disagree with some of those about the scheduling and teams, but what is one thing that no one can dispute is over the last 3 weeks we've seen really, really good cricket, gone overseas players, England players, entertaining games, and I've really enjoyed it, guys.
I loved it. I always do. And actually, fine, admit it, there's going to be people on the internet, people Mickey Mouse cricket, it's not cricket. Well, it 100% is cricket, so
it's not cricket. Tell it all the international players playing in it.
Yeah, ridiculous. But no, great fun. Some really good cricket, some less good cricket. And I think the men's tournament has been the best I've ever seen of it.
Yeah,
the women's, I'm not sure. I'm not yet decided. I do, like I was saying earlier, I think bringing 4 internationals in a women's thing doesn't do any good for the women's development of the game, just because... bring in 4 Australians to a side, they're all rounders really, almost. They'll just do it all, and then the England players are kind of sat out at fine leg, twiddling their thumbs, not really getting to do that much. So I don't know about that, whether you'd say 3 internationals in a women's side, but you can't change it now. But in the men's, loved it. Some really big names coming in, and it's a big tournament now.
Roll on 2027, we will be there. Up next on Howzat for a pod, we're doing power or lifting, and Georgie's going to have a run. How's that for a pod? Sam Ellard, Georgie, Heath, Faraaz, Noor, with you. Faraaz, I mean, is that the only thing you wear?
Probably, yeah, it is, to be fair. I love this tracky me, though. It's just so comfy in that, you know what I mean? I can move in my all black, just nonchalant, mind my own business in that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it keeps me nice and warm. Truthfully, it's one of them, right? So basically, when you're in the big smoke this time of year, it's weird because it gets quite humid and warm, but then it's not too warm where you can put shorts on all the time. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them. It keeps me cool. It's quite airy in that.
It's short weather, mate.
No, bro, you're not even in shorts.
Yeah, no,
yourself,
I know,
bro.
but I mean, I'm in a place of work. I dress appropriately, unlike used to. I mean, Georgie, it looks like you've just woken up with what you're wearing.
All right.
No, not look
Sly.
like. No. Like
So sly.
And you're just gone for a full-on Under Armour tracksuit. I can't believe you haven't got an Under Armour gig, mate.
I know where Under Armour, right? Under Armour. I'm gonna look down the lens here. Under Armour, Under Armour, give me a sponsorship right now. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm actually asking for it. I'm begging for it, mate. No, I'm not begging for it. I've got a bit more respect for myself than that. But Under Armour, come here and I'll sort you out, bro. Nice one. Yeah.
We'll sort you out, bro.
Yeah.
Nice one. If only he had that much enthusiasm and energy and determination when he was on the Traitors, and you have to try and get Rachel Stephen out.
Well,
he didn't say a bloody word at the round table.
No, but wearing black, he's saying going under the radar. He did go under the radar because none of us realised he was in there till like episode 7.
Yes, he literally. My mum said to me,
who's he?
There were 5 left. My mum said to me, "Who's that northern lad in the jumper?" She's like, "Where's he come from? You didn't say a bloody word. Now we can't shut you up." Every time I go on social media, there's Faraaz here, Faraaz there.
Everywhere, son, everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, it's remarkable, isn't it? I quite enjoyed that, Georgie. That was quite good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Tell you what, you've been on fire with these the past couple of weeks. To be fair,
I have. That was Georgie's first one.
It's because I've had nothing else to do all week.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just,
I know. How is the catering business going?
living the dream. Living the dream.
What are you if you had to cook someone dinner, like someone was coming over for like a meal? What are you rustling up, G?
Oh, I don't know, but are they meat eater or not? Cause
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. I actually, when I did eat meat, I would like a lamb shank is a good go-to.
You can cook lamb
I
shank.
can cook a lamb shank with a nice dauphinoise.
Great shout.
Yeah.
I'll let me taste test that. Like,
Yeah.
Yes, so would I. Yeah.
Homemade
Taste
gravy,
that.
obviously.
You what?
Homemade gravy, obviously.
Oh,
How do you make homemade gravy?
what do you mean, mate? You
start
just
with-
boil the meat juice in there.
Yeah, so
Obviously.
you use the meat juice and then you have a little bit of gravy browning and you use corn flour and you mix that a little bit together and
Really?
you save the water from
Just
the
use a packet.
potatoes as well to make the gravy, and then you get it into the pan after you've used that, you deglaze it in there and you get your
I'm
gravy.
not being funny. Find a woman who can do everything, really, right? She knows her cricket. She knows her sport. She can cook for you. You know, there we go.
Thanks.
And
You're
run a
pimping me
five-
out again.
And run a 5K in very fast time as well.
What's the quickest time you can do a 5K in?
I think my PB is 22 something.
Sharp.
That blows my mind. Because I know on the treadmill how long it takes me to do like 1K, like 7 minutes. And you can do, that is, I mean, how quick are you running to do 5K in 22 minutes?
It's quicker than 7-minute K's lap, bro.
Yeah, no, I've realised that, mate. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm aware of that. Yeah. No, good.
Thanks.
Okay, anyway, let's now do powerlifting. Faraaz is a proper northerner. There's features where we put our traitors soup. I mean, can you come fifth and be a traitor superstar?
Fifth harsh, bro. I think it was fourth.
Was it fourth?
Yeah.
Who came third then?
Well, it was Jack won it, and then no, I came third. Truth, if you count, because it was joint winners. So
Which
I came
one
third.
is it?
I came third.
Did you?
I got that bronze medal. I was on the Olympic podium.
Yeah. Oh no, I remember Jack. I didn't like. Oh, that's a bit harsh. I didn't mind Jack. Yeah, he. I can't describe what he looked like.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There's always, there's always a few that look quite similar, and then it takes me a few weeks to realise they're not the same person.
Yeah. You're absolutely, because there's so many at the start, isn't there? Yeah.
I was lucky in that regard because not many people look similar to me on the series, so that was quite good.
No, good stuff. So we're going to put our traitor's third place bronze medalist under the spotlight, asking him 3 current cricketing questions, and he will tell us if the answer is either power, which means,
Mint, mate, you can't get any better.
or lifting, which means,
Absolutely terrible, disgusting, get rid now.
Joe Root's first influencers, captain, abolishing the midnight curfew for the England side.
Absolutely power, mate. Let the lads run loose. Honest, no, I think it is class.
Please drink responsibly.
Truthfully, like, if you're gonna put a curfew on grown men, that's just gonna make them want to break it. You know what I mean? Like, just let them be sensible and they'll handle their own business. Like, I think bringing that curfew in the first place was just silly. Like, it was so stupid. How can you tell a 30-year-old man, oh, you have to be home by midnight? There's no Cinderella. Do you know what I mean? It's Gus Atkinson, so like you can't be doing this. So I feel as if him getting rid of that rule, it just puts that accountability into the lads' hands, and then they're like, oh, I don't want to upset the lads now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to actually do this and do it properly. So I feel as if 100% power getting rid of that.
Yeah, they're grown men playing international sport. Surely you've got some kind of brain cell in there to be like, you know what, I'm not going to go out on piss.
Unfortunately, though, like, to be fair, like, they have shown in recent years that they don't seem to know how to behave responsibly. So, like, I agree with you. I don't think it's wise having a curfew in for grown men, but also just start acting and behaving like elite level international sportsmen should do, which is not trying to get into a nightclub the night before you're captaining England in a white ball game, for argument's sake, right?
Yeah, but that's just like one example. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel it.
One of a few bad examples.
But everyone makes mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Harry just might have been excited, skipper, and just thought, oh, you know what? Or he might have been a bit.
Or he just loves a bevy. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
you're to celebrate. Calm the nerves.
He might have been a bit nervous. Yeah, just take the edge off. Do you know what I mean? But take the edge.
Everyone
off
makes
more.
mistakes. That's
Yeah,
true.
so that's
fair.
the thing.
That's fair.
I agree with Rooty.
Okay, so that's power.
Power, mate.
The owners of the IPL side, Kolkata Knight Riders, KKR, would be interested in buying a stake in a new 100 franchise if the competition for us expands to 10 sides.
See, I was umming and ahhing about this, but I think
That's not an answer. That's not an option.
Wait, I'm getting to my answer. Do you know what I mean? But then I think going to 10 sides, I'm thinking for me the closest games to Leeds. So imagine lads in Newcastle, that's like a 2-hour trip. So 10 sides, you bring a team in the northeast, mate. I think it's absolutely power. Do you know what I mean? So because it just allows more people to go to more games that are closer to them.
So if there was
I
a team
agree.
up in Durham, though, would you want that? Would you get behind that? Would that excite you?
Yeah, I feel as if you've got more affinity because, like, realistically, why would I have an affinity to a team in Leeds? Do you know what I mean? Like, no one likes Leeds. Like,
Well, I think we should also just make that perfectly clear that that's the opinion of Faraaz Noor, not of talkSPORT.
No,
Okay?
I'm obviously only joking. Like I do
don't
like
think you are
Leeds.
joking.
There's nice food places in Leeds. And
There's nice food places in Leeds. They'll be delighted to know that Faraaz Noor from the Traitors thinks there's good food places in Leeds.
My auntie also lives in Leeds.
What's her name?
Marine.
Marine?
Yeah. She's a school teacher as well, actually. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So Miss Noor, I just hope the kids do well for Miss Noor. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, but no, truthfully, like it just makes sense. Like people in Newcastle, so to speak, like they'll want to go to Chesley Street. It's only half an hour away, and do such sides as well. So I feel as if that is a good thing, especially more money into the game, more money into the franchise as well, the sport. It's only going to make the 100 bigger and better, I feel.
My only thing, does it dilute the competition?
In what way?
Having more teams, obviously, then it spreads the players wider, who then moves from ones they're already established at.
I see. So you think there'll be the two
And
other...
then it gets diluted slightly,
Yeah,
especially looking at
interesting.
the women's as well.
Yeah.
Have you quite got that quality to have 10 franchises of
Interesting.
players coming to play
Interesting
over
point.
in England? I love the idea. More cricket, more fun.
I think
Have a team over in the West, Bristol kind of way.
Somerset, yeah, I thought,
Somerset, Bristol, Taunton, over that kind of part of the world. They need one. The closest they've got is Cardiff. So
I think touching on that as well, I think in the men's it probably wouldn't be an issue. In the women's maybe, but then that's
exactly.
where you're saying you could reduce the overseas players, for different teams. So then I feel as that could.
But then is the
work out a bit
quality
more.
not as good? So I don't know.
Been put in your place, haven't you, young man? Been put in your place by Mrs. Heath. But it's now time where we end the show. Also, by the way, I can't believe... So, his agent kicked up a fuss about him not having a feature. Have you heard what the new complaint is?
Oh, no.
That apparently he's upset that your feature ends the show. Like, that's the main event of the show. So he wants his feature to be last in the show. I mean, when's this going to stop for us?
Shall I just leave?
No, no.
No nibble from me.
So
mate.
you're not happy with your...
You're getting no nibble from me because this is the first I've heard of this complaint.
you need to get onto Tongueside Media, you know that. Georgie Heath has a minute to rant on something that's got under her skin in the world of cricket with Heath Sledger. Over to you.
I'm going to go for finals being played at Lord's. Yes, it's the home of cricket, but they hardly ever really show up these astonishing finals. I don't know whether it's the pitch, whether it's the way it plays. Lord's isn't necessarily a high-scoring pitch, and we know that it never really has been. Yes, you get some great finals, 2019 World Cup, but until the very end was quite rubbish, quite boring final until the sort of last hour of it.
Which was quite good, though.
Which was very good. Maybe that made up for it. But the women's
think
final
so.
in the 100, they just couldn't get it away. The pitch then got better for the men's later on, but it's just not really a place that's conducive to great enthralling cricket. Yes, it has the atmosphere and everything else about it, but I just think that there could be other places that can offer up better opportunities for a really, really good final of good cricket, but then still has an atmosphere. The Oval might be great. I don't know. I don't have a favourite necessarily, but I know it's always going to be Lord's.
You mentioned
but it
the
just
atmosphere.
doesn't have to be.
Being good at Lord's. But a lot of people would argue the atmosphere, certainly if you go further up
Yeah.
north, is better and louder than Lord's, which is maybe a bit less, chaotic and loud on these kind of white ball final games.
Yeah, and you want that. You want that from a final. You want people to get really involved. Yes, it's got the history and everything else. It makes great pictures when you take the photo lifting
Sure.
that big old trophy. But I just think there's somewhere that could be better. And I think it could make more of a class final.
Do you know what
Have a better place to play.
I don't disagree with that. I think the Lord's pitch has been a problem, hasn't it, now for a little while now, and I think you want to see runs being scored, don't you, in these big games, and maybe there are better places in the country for runs to be scored. We're talking about the One Day Cup final, so we've just had a 4-week batch of One Day Cup cricket league stage games into the kind of quarters, if you like, essentially into the semi. So we now have our final. We now wait 4 weeks for the final. I mean, that is...
Yeah.
They used to obviously do that for years with the Blast, didn't they? They used to kind of have the Blast, have the quarters, and then wait a month for finals day, which they changed this year, which makes sense. We've just had 4 weeks of 50-over cricket, and they now go back into county championship cricket for 4 weeks, and we have to wait 4 weeks for the final. I mean, it is just a load of absolute rubbish.
Scheduling, someone needs to sit down, but this is just terrible. I honestly just get AI to do the scheduling because humans are not doing it right. We had semi-finals yesterday of the One Day Cup on the same day as the 100 final. And yes, you're already pitting these things against each other.
Literally.
That's not going to help if they're on the same day. I know I've already finished ranting about something else, but I'm off again. Don't put those two things on the same day. You've got ample time. The 100 is done. You know where its block is. If you like you say, you could move things around because it's so long now till we play the final. So we've had this excitement of the semi-final. Great. And at school, okay, bye, everyone.
But could you imagine, football, you had the World Cup, and then, you have the semis on the Wednesday and Thursday, and they go, you know what we're going to do? we're going to play. We're going to stop for 2 months or 6 weeks. We'll start the Premier League again. We'll have the Carabao Cup first round, and then we'll all come back and play the World Cup final. It's absolute nonsense.
Yeah, it makes zero sense whatsoever. And what you say about like them being pitted against each other as well, like that's not what it's for. They're not like two competitors. You know what I mean? They're
They are.
It's like two different things. Like you enjoy them both, but if you've got the semis and the final on the same day, like you can't. You know what I mean? As a cricket fan, you can't watch both of them at the same time? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that how can you have a tournament that can go on for that long, whereas it's only the final that's so far separated from the other?
Do you know
It makes
why?
No sense whatsoever.
Because cricket is stupid sometimes.
Cricket shoots itself in the foot more often than
mate, it just finds ways to almost be really stupid and do things that make no sense. That should have been your rant, but yours was good.
Thank
but I
you.
felt like I like adding to your rant.
That's
where
okay.
You, do a rant,
You
yeah.
add away.
Okay.
You add.
Good stuff. Fraz, what are we up to this week?
To be fair, on Wednesday I'm doing a boxing podcast, so
Oh, wow.
that'll be
Oh,
interesting. And
hello.
on Saturday I'm gonna be going to some place in Manchester. It's like a little jazz playing live music type for one of my mates' birthdays. He's a bit of a princess, so he likes going to these bougie places.
Okay, so down to
That'll be
Manchester.
Nice. Yeah. So it'll
Staying
be good.
over?
Yeah, staying over at his house. Yeah, so it'll be good crack. To be fair, looking forward to that. But I tell you what though. I might watch Odyssey for the second time because I absolutely love the film.
Is it good?
Yeah, mate, it's so good. If no one's watched it, I implore you to watch the Odyssey.
I haven't watched it.
Oh, it's a terrific
Have you?
film.
No.
What's it about?
It's about like Greek mythology. It's about the story of Odysseus, mate. And like,
Really?
no, truthfully, bro, it's unbelievable. Like, it's a class Christopher Nolan film, really good.
It's all in
really
the cinema. It's not. on
Yeah,
TV.
cinema. I had to treat the Marge, didn't I?
I haven't been to cinema, so the last thing I went to see was Zootopia 2. So
That was a decent movie as well, actually. I went with my
Unreal
sister for that. Me and my sister went to the cinema and watched Zootopia
Oh, really?
too.
Did you the morning after talk about the movie as well with her?
The soundtrack.
I don't think she wanted to talk to me about it.
She older or younger?
No, she's younger. So she
Did
didn't
she
wanna
like
talk
when
to
you were
me.
on the trays? Was she like proper buzzing that Big Brother's famous? on
Oh,
TV?
no, sort of the opposite, to be honest. She was
really?
like after
Speak for us. Speak.
after the
Say
Is he
something.
on the show, Mum?
after.
What series is he on?
I can't find him. Can't find him. After the final, she FaceTimed me and was berating me, going, "You idiot! Why did you do that? Why did you do that?" I was like, "Yeah, thanks, nice.
Yeah. Cheers, sis. Yeah.
Cheers, sis."
Thank you.
All right, Georgie. Very quickly, anything?
Yeah,
fun
I got
this
some
week?
work with the Rotterdam Dockers
Oh,
tomorrow.
good. So you are gonna start doing cricket work
So
again.
ahead of the European League starting in a few weeks' time. So
Okay.
yeah.
I will be covering England-Pakistan for talkSPORT this week, which I'm very much looking forward to. And we, this time next week, will hopefully, fingers crossed, please, be looking back on an England victory. For us, Georgie, thank you very much as always. See you same time next week on Howzat for a Pod on talkSPORT.